you don't really enjoy pitching to these guys this year.
Right.
How much have you seen a difference out of Wes now that he's healthy and becoming a more all-around hitter?
Man, and I told Gene earlier that just not only Wes' ability and he's performing better, but the mental aspect of the game, and he's not swinging at bad pitches. He's doing things that he knows he needs to do to be successful. I think he relaxes more now at the plate. Of course, Wes is one of the many that have done that. But of course, I think at the beginning of the fall he went like 13 out of 15 hits, his first 15 ABs or something like that. It was ridiculous, and that's after not seeing pitching for a couple months.
What's the biggest difference you've seen with these hitters from last offseason to this offseason?
Just the ability to not strike out, not punch out. I know they really preach putting the ball in play and making somebody make a play, and it's been a process also. I know we struck out a good bit a couple years ago, but I think that part, just making the defense make plays, has been the biggest improvement.
Last year, talk about your rehabilitation, call it that, but just the way you've been able to get back as quickly as you have after your surgery, and just talk about what you've done.
That's something I kind of pride myself on. Is I know I had surgery December 6th, and I was ahead of schedule on the rehab. That is something I'm not going to sit back and hopefully it heals, hopefully it doesn't. I'm going to actually go out and do the things that I need to do to heal myself and get back. I hate missing things, especially with when we got here for the spring semester. I was sitting out doing workouts, not getting able to do the whole workout. I was doing some of it, modifying it, and just sitting back and watching my teammates work hard. Of course, I was working hard at the same time, but I wanted to be in there with them. I like to compete with them. Coach Cohen mentioned that. I think that's a big key for me, especially being a captain, is to be in there doing things, and that's one thing that drove me to try to come back sooner.
After you were drafted last year, how long did it take you to decide to come back to school?
It took several days. I've been in contact with some of the guys that drafted me. Actually, I went to the Cape this summer because they wanted to see me pitch. So I'll say a couple weeks, actually. They went and watched me one time in the Cape, and I was wavering both ways. I didn't know what I wanted to do at first, but after I weighed my options, I would say about 3 weeks after the process, I decided to come back.
Did you talk to John Cohen about it at all?
I didn't talk to Coach Cohen. I know he sent me a text, and he said, "Congratulations, we love you, we'd love to have you. It's your decision, I'm not going to be a part of it," which for him is the right thing to do, I believe, because if he shouldn't get involved in it as far as a junior, but as a senior he can help us as much as he wants, and he does that with kids. He helps get free agent deals, and I know they talk to a lot of people. A lot of scouts come through the office every week. So Coach Cohen does a great job when the time comes of people getting drafted, and he handles it the right way.
What kind of feedback did you get from the MLB?
Some feedback I got, of course Miami drafted me. They like the pitcher, the style of pitcher I am. I got some feedback as far as, just the experience I learned of talking to the guys. I didn't know going into it how stressful and how confusing it could be. This was the first year for the CBA, the new draft, so it was kind of a confusing process. I had some guys that I grew up with that actually are playing minor league ball now from my high school that went through the process. I kind of talked to them. Of course, I couldn't have an advisor or agent, so that means that I kind of had to figure things out on my own. I had to grow up and talk to the guys.
Adam and Wes were mentioning Jacob Lindgren quite a bit. What have you noticed about him? I hear he's good, obviously, with lefties, but what's made him kind of made a jump this year?
Right, and his competitiveness, I know you saw it in the SEC tournament when he pitched. He started one of the games, I think it was against LSU actually, and he struggled the first inning, but he settled down and gave us 3 or 4 innings that game, and it was a big game, but when we ended up coming back and winning at the end. Jacob Lindgren's somebody that's going to go out there, and he doesn't care what you've done in the past as a hitter, and he doesn't care if you were ranked an All-American as a hitter. He's just going to go out there and do his job. He's going to go out there and get after people, challenge the strike zone because he knows his stuff's good. And I think I get that vibe from him. he's going to challenge whoever's up there, and that's what really makes Jacob Dinger strong.
Obviously came into last season, and no one expected what we saw out of Chris Stratton, and Fraser's even mentioned that you might be that guy this year.
Right, and no one expected it from the outside, but from the inside, we knew Chris Stratton was good. We knew how hard he worked. And we knew that that he could be that type of ball player. And we knew that when he figured out that he needed to run his own show, that he would be a first rounder. So a lot of things are seen from the inside that aren't seen from the outside as far as what goes on during workouts and practice. I think that has a big part of it. And I would like to think that, I would be a key part of this team and to help us lead us to where we want to go.
How much confidence do you have in that bullpen? I mean, you've seen that, different bullpens over the last 3 years, but it seems like this bullpen group may be the deepest you've had since you've been here.
Right, and I was eating breakfast with Coach Wells the other day in the cafeteria, and we got to talking about, who's going to pitch when and where, and we had so many options that we'd throw out there. And a couple years ago, you didn't have those options. A couple years ago, we didn't even know what role. I started, I relieved, long relieved. I actually closed the game the last game of the season, my freshman year at LSU, and got a save. So I think that we're settled into roles. And as a starter, if I get into trouble, I have why wouldn't I have confidence after what we accomplished last year if I even have bases loaded and I have to come out of the game, that the relievers and the people coming out of the bullpen are going to get a job done and, save some runs.